Okay, we're live on Hangouts. That means we're live on gun channels. I'm just waiting for the delayed action of YouTube. There she goes. Okay, welcome live from the crossroads of America to Rick's Life as I See It, a 1-hour talk show. And this is about shooting with disabilities. And if you got any questions or anything, you can put them in the chat boxes, or you can email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. Also, the audio file will be on Podbean, iTunes, and Stitchers within 24 hours. Also, I got a Patreon page if anybody's interested. What else? Got T-shirts on Spreadshirt.com. Just type in Rick's Life and my stuff should come up. What else have I got going on? I got my stickers for my channel. You know, I'm giving those away with the prizes on my Saturday show. But if you want one, I can sell you one for $4.99. So, and the link for that is on the bottom of the page there as well.
$4.99. Why not $5 even?
$4.99 sounds better. You get free. I'm paying for the stamp.
He's got a bucket full of pennies he's trying to get rid of.
Yeah. So. All right. Anyway, let me see who's in the chat so far. We've got who have we got? We got Seven Wonders, gun-loving Grandpa Stanley. Oh, Seven Wonders real quick said he did a blind challenge at the range video yesterday. All right, I'll check it out. So then on gun channels, we've got General Relativity and Pete Ortega. Is that how you pronounce it? Roasted Films just joined us. Anyway, on the panel so far tonight, I have Blind Shooter. How you doing?
Doing good, Rick. How you doing?
Okay. And we got the David Kingpin Bowling.
Hey, Rick. How's it going, man? Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. And then we got the one and only Squib.
Hey, you would wait to announce me when I'm climbing the ladder.
Oh, the Gun Snobs joined us. How you doing? I've what you call it? If anybody wants to join the chat, I put a link over on gun channels. So if anybody wants to join. Now, I do have more invitations out than we have spots. So first come, first serve. Okay. Shooting with disabilities. I got a couple of good topics for tonight. I was hoping Patriot would be here with one. So I'm gonna drop that down to the second and hope he shows up. But the first topic is with, like having arthritis or a bad back or in a wheelchair or whatever your affliction, I don't know if that's the correct word to use, is. How do you carry your stuff to the range? And once you get there, how do you get it from your vehicle to wherever you're shooting at? Personally, myself, I haven't gone shooting since I've been in Indiana yet, because I had to supply my own targets, and I've only just there. I got one here so far. I got a still target that I've got. I mean, I got paper targets, but I don't have a stand to put them on. And where I'm going shooting, it's not a shooting range per se. It's just a place I can go shoot. So they don't have anything there. But anyway, when I was in Rhode Island, I have one of those sort of like carry-on bags that has a zipper on the front that opens up. It's got tons of pockets all over the place. It's got one of those handles, so I just roll that behind me when I was going to and from my truck. Or if I was going to the indoor range, it worked out great. But luckily, at the outdoor range I was a member of, I was allowed to drive my truck right up to where the tables were. So I used to just drive right up at the end of the thing near where the tables were and just drop my tailgate down, and that was my table. and I already had my bag in the back of the truck, so I just pulled it forward, and I done everything on the tailgate there. That's how I did it. So, anybody, how do you do it, blind shooter?
Range bag with the 50 million pockets. If I'm using pistol, if it's rifle or shotgun, it's range bag with the ammo, safety gear, rifle bag slung over the shoulder, and then just white cane it.
Okay. All right. How about you, David?
Well, we tend to take a bunch of stuff to the range with us, so we got one of those little fold up carts, and it's really not enough because we always end up taking too much stuff with us. But I carry a book bag with me. A couple of our friends have given us range bags, and then like I said, we got the little fold up cart that we take with us.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, from the range, I mean, from where you park your vehicle to where you actually go shooting, I mean, is there much of a hike?
Well, yeah, it's a really steep hill. Either way, there's like a path that's cut out, and then you could drive down. And either way, it's up a really steep hill. And just recently, a new supervisor's taken over at our range, so he's changed a bunch of the rules. And before you could drive down and unload all your stuff down at the bottom and then turn around and drive back up to the parking lot. And they don't let you do that anymore. If you don't have a handicap placard, then you can't drive down anymore.
Oh, man, that's a shame. That's a shame. That makes life tough. What about you, Squib?
In my range, has got it's a slight uphill incline. So you got two short sets of steps that go up, and then sort of a ramp. Last year, they invested some money in the range, and they added some more pistol shooting stations, and they put in a paved access for handicap over at the where they added the new pistol range. And I don't know, I think it's 2 or 3 parking spaces. You can drive right up to exactly what you were talking about, Rick. But from there, you would have to unload it from your truck and then walk over to a shooting station. But you're really supposed to check in before you just go to a shooting station. And if the range is really packed, it might not be a good idea to just assume that an open station is yours. So there is still a bit of a walk, but it's a shorter walk, and it's not uphill at all. It's all on concrete pavement. So I've seen people use it since they've installed it. But for me, I just sling everything over my shoulder and then either stick things underneath my arms or carry it in my hand. So you might see me with a big range bag stuffed full of things, and then 2 ammo cans and targets. My targets are the size of poster boards, and I got those underneath my arm, tucked underneath my arm, and then a rifle in a case with a sling on it. I mean, I've got some hard cases, but I've got a few soft cases that have got a strap that you can sling it over there. So by the time I get up to the top of the hill and go to check in, and I'm setting everything down, it looks like a mess. So what I did this year for Christmas, I didn't have enough money to get everybody a rifle. That was my original plan. So I decided just to get shooting accessories. So I got everybody in the family their own range bag. And everybody in the family has at least one gun case. So guess what? Now they can carry all of their own stuff. They can carry their own guns. And then I'm only stuck carrying targets and some of the shared gear in the range bag for myself. So I spread out the weight so that the family can pull their own weight, and it'll work out pretty good, I think.
Oh, good. Good. All right, Patriot, we're asking about how do you carry your gear to the range, and once you got the range, how do you get it from your vehicle to wherever you're going?
Okay. Well, hello, everyone.
Hey,
We're having a
Patriot.
great time. Thanks for the invite. Indoor range is, it's a paved parking lot, that kind of thing. So it's just carry in. I have multiple range bags that I just load up. If I'm really excited, I use my old Alice pack stuffed to the gills. I mean, it's totally loaded out, and that's just slung over my arm, and I got maybe a case or something extra, but I always have one hand for my cane and a smile. But for the outdoors, they've changed a little bit. You can actually drive around if you're quote unquote old or a senior. You can actually drive out there where it's not just for a handicap or whatever. So if like they actually told my mom she could drive out there, because she has some bad knees, that kind of thing. But it used to be where it was actually a gravel kind of road that kind of went around and going through the building, because you have to, you pay and go through the building and out the back. They do have it now that there's, I believe should be mostly paved, but I do believe you still have to walk from one sidewalk to the next, and it might be gravel. I'm not sure. They did some work, and I haven't been out there since springtime, so they've been doing it for midsummer. So I don't know exactly what, but it is a kind of a distance, and some people use those little carts or the carry-on suitcases.
That's what I use.
Cloth ones or whatever, because you can load those things up too, and they're not like a hard case or anything, but you can get them soft or that'll expand and all sorts of stuff. So I'm sure that'd work, and they got the wheels built in. So
yeah, before my back got so bad. Well, I've always had the back, but it's got worse over the last 2 years. I hate making. I even do it now here at home. Like when I go grocery shopping, I try to carry everything in one go if I don't have to make multiple trips. And 9 times out of 10, if I can do it, if my back can hold up and I get through the door and I put it all down, then my back kills me. I'm dying, I should just do the multiple trips and save myself all the agony. But there we go. Anyway, on to the next topic. I'm glad you showed up, Patriot. This is one of yours, I believe. Oh, General Relativity says, I carry very little gear, a sling pack range bag over one shoulder and my drag bag gun case over the other. I just park and walk into the indoor range most often. There you go. Nice
you
and simple.
You got to save room for the smile. The smile is always one of the big things.
That's right. We got David Bowling showing us twice here. So,
I switched over from my phone to my laptop.
That's all right. Okay, the next question. Here's the good one, and it's I've been trying to research it, and if you're in I want to use you for this, Patriot, because you're in Michigan, right?
Yes.
Right. And being blind, they issued you a gun permit.
Yes.
Now, if you go to another state that has reciprocity with Michigan and say that state doesn't allow a blind person to have a permit, because I've been looking this up, it's hard specifying that.
I actually found out some information. There's actually only, I believe, 4 states that actually have visual requirements, which are Minnesota. I'm going to mess it up, of course, but Washington, D.C., which doesn't have reciprocity with nobody. Of course, now I forgot them. But there's 4 of them. One of the Carolinas. Don't know if it's I don't know which one it is. I believe it's south. One of them. Anyways, but the whole idea was they're the only ones that really have the issue with the visual testing. So before I found, when I first asked that question, I didn't know about those 4 states being the ones that had the limits. And the other little ambiance about that or whatever is that the requirements for a CPL or your concealed carry license is one thing, but a state's laws as far as like hollow points in New Jersey, that's something totally separate. And so they can't change, they're not going to get you for requirements of a concealed carry since you have it, but they can get you on the laws, which are just something totally separate. And I was kind of conflating both of those together, thinking that, if they ban, some visual impaired person from doing something. So, but
Yeah,
I did get some more information on it. And so,
yeah, but where I was going with this also, because if you got reciprocity, but you still have to follow the state law, right? So what I'm saying is, say you had reciprocity with one of the Carolinas, that doesn't allow you.
but
they wouldn't issue you a permit if you live there, correct?
yes, but that's
But
a
what happens if you
requirement.
go to that state and you have reciprocity with it?
Yeah, but wouldn't reciprocity trump that state's right then?
Well, see, the thing is, though, it's when I asked that question, it was the idea that if my state says, "Hey, I'm cool, I passed all the requirements and I got my CPL," well, then I go to a state that has reciprocity. Now, their laws might be different as far as just laws. You can't have hollow points. You can't have anything over, 10 round magazines, whatever their laws are. That's something different. Now, since they have reciprocity, that just means they have to, because there's really no law about it. It's more of a requirement to get your CPL or your concealed carry. So like here, we there is no visual. There's only 4 states, and let me mute this and I'll search it up. I'll pull these guys up. I got it in an email. So
Yeah, because where I was asking, me living in Rhode Island for so long, I went to because I had their website laws for gun carry bookmarked, and I went there, and there wasn't one thing in there about a person who's visually impaired from getting a carry permit. But Rhode Island, you have to shoot 30 rounds, score what was it, 195 or better at 25 yards. And I suppose Patriot could do it with a spotter or with his little thing he uses that beeps. But would they issue one?
And just to be clear, when I took my test, I had no spotter or no extra little electronics or anything. I didn't use a laser or anything. I just went cold turkey, as they say. So just so that they couldn't come back at me and say, "Hey, oh well, you used a spotter," or "Oh, you used some electronic device." So I wasn't giving them any excuses. So.
Rick, what you're talking about is a state's requirement to get the license, and what Patriot's talking about is reciprocity, and they're two different things. The things that we have to do in Michigan in order to get the permit are not necessarily the things that you have to do to get the permit in the state that has reciprocity with Michigan. So what he's talking about is, say in Michigan you can carry a semi-auto with a 15-round mag, but in let's say Colorado, you can't. You can only carry a 10-round mag. Once you get to that state, you have to put in a 10-round mag. Okay, so what he's saying is it's the same difference as it is to eyesight. It's not what you have to do to qualify. If each state said you've got to do what we do in order to get reciprocity, then that state probably isn't going to have reciprocity with anybody.
And that's what a lot of them do, But yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I totally understand what you're saying. I understand that. But I understand a requirement to a law. But where it gets confusing is if the requirement is that somebody who's visually impaired cannot get a carry permit, but for some unknown reason there's a reciprocity with a state that allows it. right? So that person goes into that other state. Yes, his state says he can get there, but the requirement in that state says, well, if you were blind, we wouldn't get you one. So, I mean, where the police get confused, like, what I'm saying, between a qualification and a law. Well, how can you have a carry permit here if we don't allow it? So how are you allowed to carry? Because of the reciprocity. Well, I don't know if I'm making myself, if you can understand what I'm trying to go on here. But anyway.
Yeah, that question was just, when I asked it, I was kind of conflating both of those two sides of it. The state you're traveling to, the laws, versus their requirements for CPL, which their requirements for CPL doesn't have any effect of if you already have one. And there's only 4 states, and I still haven't found it yet. So.
But even those 4 states that say, because of visually impaired, can't get a carry permit, isn't that? Now, I guess it's not. They're not saying you can't own a gun. They're just saying you can't carry. Or they saying you can't, or they saying you can't own a gun, because then that would be Second Amendment bullshit.
Well, it depends on the state, technically. I mean, I know here in New York City, when I went to get my permit, one of the questions they ask plain out is, do you have any medical condition that would hinder you from safely operating a firearm?
So if you think if you answered it, sort of, for lack of a better word, technically, legally blind, even though you can see barely, there's a term, legally blind. So if you put that down, you would be turned down from being able to own a gun in New York.
Okay.
Yep. Which is why, just to get the handgun permit, you have to still go for an interview with detectives. So when I went for mine, I put down the answer being no. And I walked in there with the white cane, and the detective was like, are you blind? I'm like, technically, legally, yes. And he's like, well, do you know how to safely operate a firearm? How long have you been shooting? I'm like, I've been shooting since I was 12 years old, going out to Pennsylvania, where it's a free state.
Yeah.
And the cop was like, well, technically, I wouldn't issue a permit if it not been for a girl coming in about a week and a half earlier who only had one arm and made a video of herself shooting.
Yeah. So
the 4 states, just to say that, is Nebraska, South Carolina, Minnesota, and then obviously the last one's not a state, but Washington, D.C.
They won't issue to somebody who's...
They have requirements for visual requirements to shoot and to receive a concealed carry license. Now, I don't know exactly what it pertains to, but it does. That's the 4 locations that cause the most trouble for visually impaired trying to get a concealed carry.
Oh, okay.
So that's just some information there. I do have a lot more. My friend that's way smarter at looking up all this stuff has sent a bunch of information, so I do have it. Things have been kind of crazy around here for the last week or so I haven't had a chance to check it out very much. But there's a lot of stuff, and they're actually doing some legal work fighting against some of the stuff that's limiting freedoms and such. So.
You must be busy, Patriot. You don't even have time to change the batteries in your smoke detector.
You hear that? Well,
oh yeah.
They're all hardwired, and it takes. You have 4 rooms right within walking distance, and it chirps, and it only chirps when you're on the phone. Because otherwise, I'll stand in the hall for an hour trying to find out which one is chirping. But it's in my office, so I just walk out and I shut the door, and I don't pay attention to it. Sorry about that. I don't have a pet bird.
Okay. Next question. This one. It was. I'm not wording it right. This one was sent in by our buddy Sean. Like if you like me, I use a cane. I have a bad back, but if you say you use a wheelchair or anything else, do you carry? What other weapon do you carry if your gun? Like you can't, you lose it or you run out of ammo and you're being attacked. Do you have another weapon that you can use?
Yes.
I carry a knife. Whether it would do me any good or not, I don't know. But I carry a knife and I carry a flashlight that sort of like on the end of it, it's got sort of like points on it, where you could stab somebody with it, as well. So I don't carry a backup gun. I just don't. So, you don't have to tell me if you do, but what I was thinking of is sort of like, the reason I don't carry one is I'm already walking around with my cane, and I got to drop the cane to pull my gun anyway. I tried walking the other day using it in my left hand, but it didn't work,
So
I just want to add.
Go ahead, Patriot.
I'm sorry.
No, I had a question for you anyway. So
a veteran-owned company in Florida. They're called Patriot Canes. Right? That has nothing to do with blind guy canes. So that's anyway. But they make canes and they're aluminum, and they do patterns and all that stuff. And it's all the guys that work in there are either disabled vets or whatever. Anyways, check them out. They do aluminum canes, but they're like weighted a certain way so that you can use them as a defensive tool.
Oh yeah.
But they're walking canes or whatever, so you can get them where they're supposed to be really cool looking. I don't know, I've never seen them, but yeah, I follow them on Twitter and stuff, and I spoke with the guy. I actually called them because I wanted to see if they made real canes, long canes that I would use. But yeah, you might want to check them out. It's just Patriot Canes.
I will.
Well, hey, Patriot, what about pepper spray? Like, obviously, my dog just jumped on my bed. His feet covered in dirt. Oh, anyway, besides that, like, obviously not being able to see, you need to be able. You're not going to be as familiar with your environment as somebody who can obviously see which way they need to go. So, if you spray that pepper spray in the air, is that going to disorient you even more? Like, is that a bad self-defense weapon for a person with visual impairments?
No, it's not bad. And besides, that civilian pepper spray, you eat that stuff on your salad. But no, there's actually, it's a viable option. I mean, there's a lot of different sides to it. If you want to, with the legal stuff, if you're carrying a bunch of different things, if you resort to your firearm, are they going to look at you and say, well, why didn't you use this or why didn't you use that? There's all different arguments, to be had as far as carrying extra things. I actually know a lot of people that do use the pepper sprays. Here in Michigan, I don't, because there's some limits and stuff. It's legal, you can have it, but it's supposed to be a certain percentage, and I've just never dealt with getting any or whatever. But I do know that there's of several people that do use it, and they're visually impaired or whatever, blind guys. So yeah, I don't personally use it. I just because I've never picked any up. But as far as spraying it and all that kind of stuff, it's just like anything. You train, and most of them you come with different cylinders or whatever, where it's like water, so you can practice spray it. I guess I don't know if it's what kind it is or whatever, but they have like I guess practice cylinders or something that you can put in them to squirt. I guess I don't know.
So it sprays silly string instead of pepper spray or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not like the real gas or anything. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that light pepper spray.
Yeah. Well, I mean, really, it's a shame wheelchair's not here today because that's more geared up for somebody, I guess, who's in a wheelchair. This question, I'll just reading the question again because does he carry? I mean, if you carry a backup gun, where do you put it on the wheelchair? You know what I'm saying? Or do you carry one on your left side and your right side? That's why I wanted. That's basically. But anyway, we'll carry on. I mean. Blind shooter, do you carry if your gun goes down and you got some other kind of weapon with you?
Sure as hell do. I carry a Smith & Wesson folding knife and also have one of those flashlights like you have with the little beveled top, I want to say you call it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's good. That's good. That's basically what I carry, a knife and the flashlight. Yeah. What about you, Squib?
A backup weapon?
I mean, if your gun goes down, you have another backup or another weapon you can use, like a knife or something.
I'm the weapon.
Yeah, he just talks to him.
Yeah. I'll talk them to death or sleep or whatever. No, you know what? Actually, depending on what range I was at, how far away the threat was, I'd be more likely to beat them to death with my gun than shoot them. Ammo's expensive, man, and I can let out a lot of aggression pistol whipping somebody. But no, I mean, I keep a Leatherman on me. I don't consider that a weapon. I mean, I don't know how long the blade is, 2.5 inches or something like that. It's a tool. I'm not, and my flashlight, yeah, I've got an inexpensive EDC that's got the edges around there, but once again, it's not really. I mean, I'd have to be in some dire situation there to use those. I'd probably go to my fist. So.
Oh, I forgot to mention. I don't have it on right now. I took it off when I went in the shower. I got a knife that goes around my neck here that sits right here. It's only about that big, So that's another knife I have. Whether they do any good, I don't know, but I got one.
Patriot, you got the rule about the shower gun, right?
Yeah.
So is there a rule about a shower knife?
No, I just use straight razors when I shave in the shower. So.
Yeah. Oh, Wheelchair's here. How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. How you guys doing?
All right. My question. I'm glad you're here because this question was actually for you. Like you being in a wheelchair, and you got you're carrying your main gun, and you drop it or you run out of ammo or it malfunctions and you can't get it going. Do you have a sort of like backup weapon of any sort? Not necessarily a gun, but a knife or a cane or whatever?
Well, I always have a knife on me. And besides that, I've always got the wheelchair. It's electric, and I can do a ton of damage with it. I can break ankles.
Yeah, you can. We had a guy at work that was paraplegic, and he had a stick in his mouth, and he could work the computer keyboard and the trackball, and he did automotive engineering. And that chair with him in it was probably over 600 pounds, and he could outrun the forklift. And he dented up the walls up and down the engineering center, smashed doors, and we were always worried he was going to round the corner because he flew around the corner in this thing. We were always worried he was going to run somebody over. So, yeah, that is a heck of a weapon.
Yeah, they can do a lot of damage. So.
Oh, okay, all right. I mean, that's what I was asking. So, did I get you, David, on that one?
No, I was about to get gizzarded for the first time.
Yep.
Okay, go for it.
I've always got a knife on me, and I've always got at least 2 more knives very, very close by. And I'm opportunistic. I'll bite you if I have to.
Okay.
Living in Maryland, I don't have a carry permit, so I can't carry a gun. But if there's a spoon, a fork, a toothpick, a rock, some dirt, whatever I got to use to make sure I go home, that's what I'm going to do.
David, are all your shots up to date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, like I said, I can't carry a gun, so I got to carry rabies.
I always carry a metal ink pen too, and you can stab somebody to death as easily with a ink pen as you can with a knife.
Didn't Joey Pesci kill somebody with an ink pen in Casino?
Yeah,
Well, Clint Eastwood just used his thumb.
I don't remember that one.
Or he beat the guy up. He said he was just going to use his thumb. I guess that's next week's question.
Yeah, I guess so.
It is. Now I got to go back and watch some movies.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a whole lot of effort to poke a hole in that little thin spot in your throat, that little skin spot down at the bottom of your throat. And if you poke a hole in that on somebody, they're going to stop harassing you. It's not the easiest thing to do, but it doesn't take a whole lot of pressure to get through it.
Yeah. Rob D, New York Outcast, says your mind is your best tool.
Well, my mind's corrupt, so I don't know how good of a tool it'll be.
Yeah, same here.
And Squibb, he is a tool.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like one of those Clint Eastwood movies. He only break the glass when you actually need him. He's a
break glass in case of war. Yeah. No, he's right though. Yeah. I'm the tool.
Yeah. What was that? Hamburger Hill? That movie? When
Heartbreak Ridge. Heartbreak Ridge.
Heartbreak Ridge. That was it. Yeah. Yeah. Need to be put in a glass cage and only break when needed or something. So, all right. Do any of you guys got any questions you want to bring up? Help me out here, guys.
My question, and once again, I'm glad that Wheelchair actually got a chance to pop in, because this one I've been wanting to ask him for a long time. What's it like being at the range? Not getting your stuff, but I'm talking about you've got all your stuff at your station, everything's loaded and ready to go. Like, what's the experience target shooting at the range like for somebody who has to use a wheelchair?
It was difficult at first to figure out for just like regular target shooting what angle I needed to be at and stuff like that. But once I got past that, now I come out of the chair and roll around on the ground, and I use the chair going as fast as it'll go and shooting at the same time and different things like that. Just trying different scenarios for what it would be like in a real life situation. So it's probably not much different than for most people. Only difference is it takes me a while to get back up in the chair.
Yeah. How's your you done anything more on getting that sheriff to get you a permit?
Oh man, he's just he's being extremely obstinate and stubborn. He does not intend to give me that permit, period.
Oh man, is he an elected official? Or
yep, he's elected.
Need to get his ass out. next election. You know.
Yep, I'm going to be actively campaigning against him.
All right, that's good. That's good. So
I don't know if I'm going to be actively campaigning for anybody, but I'm definitely going to be campaigning against him.
oh yeah, I don't blame you. You know, I think he's just doing it because I don't know. He just doesn't like you, or thinks he's what's the word I'm looking, profiling. You know, of a certain thing, and said no, doesn't matter. They're not getting it. You know, which sucks.
I told him, I said, I open carry every single day. So the only difference is people might not see it if I conceal carry, and they still might not see it with me open carrying because I'm in a wheelchair. And he said, well, you can open carry if you want to. And I said, well, believe me, I plan to.
So you're allowed to open carry in your state?
Yeah.
But
have you contacted any of your state groups?
I haven't. I do have a friend that's an attorney that is supposed to be helping me with it when he remembers.
Like the disabled vets, there's a bunch of obviously the groups, the blind veterans, the one that comes to mind for me, obviously, but the disabled vets. I would try to contact one of those groups just to kind of see if there's anybody that they don't have to be obviously a lawyer or whatever, but they have sway.
Yeah,
they might have somebody that can go to bat for you or something.
I'm actually thinking about talking to my state representatives in Congress, because both of them are pro-gun. In fact, one of them is the one that introduced HR 38.
You're in North Carolina, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. What call it? General Relativity was asking on Gun Channels. He wanted to know what state you're in.
Yep.
So you're in North Carolina. That's right. And didn't he just reintroduce it again this year?
Yep.
Yep. And I think we need to write to all our representatives to co-sign it. I mean, Pelosi might not bring it up, but we shouldn't go down with it. We shouldn't just not do any pro-gun bills just because they have the House. You know what I'm saying?
General Relativity over on Gun Channels makes another really good point. He says, I'm pretty sure he's talking to Wheelchair Warrior, you should contact your state reps and complain. They can pressure people to make it happen. They love the publicity of helping disabled people. So if you grab one of those type of liberal, obviously not liberal, but people who like to fight for people's rights and say, look, they're just discriminating against me, not because I want to own a firearm, but because I'm in a wheelchair, and just stir up a hornet's nest.
Oh yeah, that's what I would do. Stir it up.
Also,
he's going to be experiencing some First Amendment audits at his office pretty soon.
Yeah, he said
he's going to be experiencing some of those First Amendment audits and different things of that nature. So he's going to get to know me very well.
Oh, good. Make his life hell while he's still in office,
Yep.
Yep. Oh, Pete over on Gun Channel says Patriot in the Dark is a friggin' hero.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Why? Because I'm picking on Squib? Hey, come on. Anybody can do it. I hear he's really short, kind of like Ghost. He's one of those really short guys.
Who, Squibb?
Yeah. I hear he's like 4'2" or something.
Okay.
No, I'm average height.
Yeah. I know. I heard.
Yeah. Yeah, he was doing some live streaming from the rally the other day. You know. Yeah, actually, when you joined us, that woman from Kelly from Armed and Feminine was talking. That's who she was. I recognized the voice. I couldn't place her until she even put out a video of her doing that same speech you were broadcasting. That's how I knew who it was. As soon as I saw that, I went, "Oh, that's who that voice went with," you know. So, yeah. See, I'm not a what you call it thing. I watch women's YouTube channels as well. I just don't stick to the guys, you know. Because I'm a nice guy. Just want to let you people know that, you know. I'm an all-around good guy. You know, I don't hold no prejudices.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What happened to the lady down the road that you've been eyeballing? I haven't heard anything else about it.
These guys made me change my room. Well, somebody kept on at me to move back into this back bedroom and because I had my thing all set up in the front thing, and I could look out the window every day and watch her walking by. I can't see the window from here, you know. And it's too goddamn cold out there right now to go stand out there hoping, you know.
Let's just get a trail cam.
Get a what?
Trail camera, GoPro.
Good point. I could do that, couldn't I?
It's kind of stalkerish, but
have it set up in the window there, and I could even put a GoPro there and have it running and have a little sort of like screen up here on my camera, on my computer screen here, where I can see who's coming up, you know, walking past the mailbox. Oh yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, it is kind of stalkish, but as long as I don't get caught, it don't hurt anybody, does it?
If you don't get caught, technically it never happened.
That's right. So, any other questions, guys, or anybody else?
She's probably the sheriff.
Actually, there's a state trooper that lives about 5 doors down from me. I see his car parked out there every day. He doesn't seem to work. He sees his car always seems to be there. He must spend a lot of time at home drinking coffee, or he's at home taking care of his wife during the day. I don't know. You know? No. John Z, how you doing? How come you're not in the chat? It's all right. John Z just joined or on the panel, I should say. So, anybody got any other questions? We still got 10 minutes. There you go. No? All right. Let me have a look, see if I got anything else on my on Sean's. Let me look at Sean's email real quick to see if there's anything on here.
Shut up, being fringed.
Shut up, being fringed.
That's awesome.
Hi, guys.
What's up, Nice Rack?
Hey, Nice Rack. How's it going?
I just saw the email. I don't know. Maybe Gmail's slow tonight, but I just saw it. I've been out there commenting a little bit on the chat.
Oh, that's all right. No problem. You got any input?
No, not really. Other than Rick, that sounds a little too stalkerish for you.
It does.
It would be less stalkerish if you got like security cameras mounted on the outside of your house, because then it would look like you're just trying to keep your house secure. Instead of putting a trail cam out there, making people think that you're hunting.
Or maybe I should get one of those little things, those cameras built inside a doorbell. Stick up there and have it pointed out towards the. Because my front door is almost in line with my mailbox. I could twist it just a little bit to make it work.
It actually they have a range, I think. So
Oh yeah.
Degrees. So it's not. It's kind of.
Yeah, there is a range. That's why I said a security camera, because the big security cameras.
Oh.
Basically, you hook them up to a machine, because it comes with the cameras, and you put a monitor on that, and you can see who you can just watch it and watch who goes what and where around on your property whenever.
So we know why Night Strike was late.
I have set those security systems up before. Okay, many of them.
He was watching his security system.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I have a very long driveway, so nobody walks in front of my house. They can't, because there's like a ditch right alongside the road, and then there's like a 7 to 8 foot tall hill, so they can't actually walk in front of my house.
And speaking of that's actually Night Strike did bring up something as far as security, instead of just obviously being blind. I don't go for the video stuff, because I don't really care about it besides recording. Now in my garage, on the back wall that shoots down my driveway when my garage is open, I do have the infrared sensors that basically alert if anybody's in my driveway or by my mailbox, because it and you can adjust them just like your motion lights and stuff, which I have those too, but they're like the room sensors. They got a remote receiver that basically sees if anybody's out there, and it lets me know that kids are messing around by my garage or whatever, and then I go out and yell at them, and they think I'm psychic because I know that they're out there. But you can pick those up at anywhere, Amazon, any of those places for.
Just tell them you're using the Force.
Oh, I caught one boy that was in the garage, and he's like, "No, I was just standing here." It's like he knocked over the wood and whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of cool. That's I have a single family residence, so there's certain spots that people walk by and stuff, and so having those little sensors like that, they're cheap, and it alerts you. It just plays a tone or some ridiculous song or something, But yeah, the dog won't bark unless it hears that little chirp or something, then it knows somebody's out there. So getting lazy in her age, but those are cool. Besides having cameras,
right?
Does anybody else use those infrared things, or?
I mean, at this point, a camera wouldn't benefit you.
Yeah, the only time the camera is good for is after the fact, if it records somebody screwing around doing something.
Right.
But because that was one of the big things. I've changed my front door because it was all glass and stuff. Well, if somebody comes up and rings the doorbell and I walk up and says, who is it? And it's glass, it's obvious that the guy's blind. I can't see him, So I put a solid door where it's just got the small curved glass at the very top. And so when I go up and I say, who is it? They know I can't see them. So, but I was looking at those, like intercoms, it used to have the video intercoms and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't have to open my door unless I knew who it was, security wise and stuff like that. Cop comes up there, I don't have to open it for him. And
that's what I'm gonna do is get me a security system. A couple of cameras out there, Have one looking out the front, have one looking at my truck. Oh, talking about that, slightly different thing is, security. I mean, I don't know if you do this. I always lock my doors when I get in my truck.
Right.
Even like because it takes me a while to get my seatbelt on and all that, with the back and moving the cane and everything. So I always lock my door as soon as I get in, just in case somebody tries to, open the door and attack me or whatever. But no, what I was going to say is, I tell you, I could have smacked that woman down at the registration place. I went down there the other day. I said, "Here you go." I said, "I need you to do a VIN check before I can go over to the court and get this thing rolling before I can get my registration." She goes, "Why do you got to go to court?" I said, "Because you guys told me." I said, "That lady sitting over there told me that I have to have a court thing because Indiana will not let me register my truck without a title." And I said, and I showed her all this paperwork I got off the internet and everything else. I said, Rhode Island does not give out titles for cars 2000 and older. She goes, "Well, that's not a problem. We just do you got a bill of sale?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "We just do a bill of sale title." "No problem. Just sit down. I'll take care of it for you." So I got my title. I mean, not my title. I got my title will be coming in the mail for my truck. But I got my registration. Mind you, it cost me to pay for a title and to register the truck and pay for the license plate and everything. It cost me $160. But she says, she goes, when you renew, I don't have to renew to August 2020. She says, when you renew there, she said it'd be less than $100. So.
Here's the question, Rick. How much did it cost you in Rhode Island?
What, to register my truck?
Yeah.
It cost me, I think it was $65 a year.
That's
dang. Both Indiana and Rhode Island are cheap.
Yeah. It was, because you in Rhode Island you had to pay registration every year on your vehicle, and you had to have it inspected every 2 years.
Guess how much it cost me in Michigan?
How much?
Nothing. I don't have a car right now.
I was waiting to see
actually, no, you see
one of his blind jokes again.
I know, but he could have had somebody drive for him.
Yeah, I've sold all my cars. I don't have any anymore.
Oh,
just have a collection.
I thought you were gonna do the blind challenge. Driving.
I'm still waiting for somebody to bring the car over. I'm ready. Whenever.
Hey, can you drive a stick?
Yeah.
All right.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's gonna have an 8,000-pound missile going down the street here.
Of course he can drive a stick. He was in the military.
Now
that don't mean nothing. Being in the military has nothing to do with that.
Aren't most military vehicles manual?
No.
No.
The ship I drove was not manual.
I tried to set up a trip for a bunch of blind guys to go out to the salt flats with some rental cars, two-way radios and such, but nobody was as excited about it as I was.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I could say something, but it would be mean to, so I won't.
Well, I used to have my kids believing that the rumble strips on either side of the highway was actually braille so that blind people could drive. Now, granted, they were young, but
yeah, the bump strips and the out in
they woke me up.
They actually have dots.
They've when you drive along, and especially when you're driving along and you get in that sort of trance as you're driving, and you might go over, and those things sure do wake you up. I tell you.
Hey, Patriot, did after you lost your vision, did you start to get car sick when you were riding cars? Did you have to get used to riding in a car again?
I drove. That was my thing. As I used, I collected cars and I drove, and the last road trip just before I went blind, I drove from Michigan to Colorado Springs and drove home on a weekend. But so I love to drive, or I used to, but it really not really car sick. I never liked anybody else driving. I don't now it's less. I don't get scared, but I anticipate a lot more, and so I'm always kind of saying, you got to watch the road, stop playing with the radio, that kind of thing. But that's just because I'm old and crotchety, I think. But.
Oh man, I got second thoughts about going on a road trip with you.
Yeah, because it used to be that I for work I would drive, and I would drive from Michigan to Louisiana, wherever, it didn't matter, and I would be changing CDs with, I guess that kind of dates me, but changing CDs and everything on the fly. Just everything crazy, but now that I have to sit in the passenger seat, which is horrible in itself.
Yeah.
Hey, Fred, I used to change cassettes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. When I was a kid, but most of my driving was later, I guess.
But even
I was
today,
talking about as an adult.
but even today, and I can see where I'm going with it, is if I'm sitting in a car, whether it's the front seat or back seat, I've got to look out of I got to look straight ahead and look out of the windshield. Because if I start looking out the sides and stuff, I get car sick.
Yeah.
But if I'm driving, because I'm driving, I'm fine. But if I'm not driving, I have to keep my eyes straight ahead. Otherwise, oh man. But I feel really queasy and everything else. But as soon as if we stop and I get out, I'm fine. As soon as my foot touches the ground, I'm fine again. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I've never had any kind of car sickness or plane or boat or any of that stuff.
Well, anyway, gentlemen, the hour is up. And for the people out there in the audience, if you got any questions you want me to ask this great panel of mine, email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com where I can put them. I'm running out of ideas. All you guys keep giving Caliber Corner tons of questions to ask, but I don't get any. So I'm not jealous. I'm just saying.
You're not getting any, Rick? Not a single one?
I get, Sean sent me a couple last week, but nobody else sends me any questions.
I don't believe that.
So
Rick always gets questions.
Anyway,
even when he doesn't want them.
Yeah,
Are you going to go over the quiz?
What?
Are you going to go over the quiz?
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, the quiz for Saturday. Yes, the quiz for Saturday. Hang on, I'm trying to remember what. I remember what it was, but I can't remember the guy's name. Hang on. It's to do with Blue Bloods, I believe, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Tom Selleck,
if I remember correctly. Come on.
His name is Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
No.
I think I wrote it down.
Okay. The detective Danny Regan.
The other one.
In the season finale on season 1, the finale, which was episode 22, called The Blue Templar, he draws a gun. Surprise, surprise. I want to know the make and model. There you go. I researched.
You mean like with a pencil and a piece of paper he draws a gun? Or do you mean from a holster?
From a holster.
Okay.
He drew a picture of a gun in a holster?
There you go, yeah. So I want to know.
That's some great drawing skills.
The make and model of the gun he used on the show in that particular episode.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Now, what's the name of this show?
Blue Blood.
Fish on Hill Street Blues.
Wait, no, Fish was on Barney Miller.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was Abe Pagoda. Yeah, that was.
My
Yeah.
lunchtime Saturday at Rickslifeasiseeit at gmail.com or spottedrick at gmail.com. And the prize is one of these fantastic hats. You know, America stand proud. Also, where is it? Is it in here? Oh, yeah. Plus, what I'm doing now, also, a little thing
You get a
here.
little spotted Rick.
My sticker here. The tactical pickle sticker. And I got a couple of cards here. Got a G-Web sticker or Gun Channels sticker. Another.
Yeah, that's going to be worth something someday.
And, oh, yeah. And, hang on. I just dropped it on the floor. I'm so excited. Also, little tiny, I think these are trading cards or something that G-Web's made. And that one has my avatar on it. That also goes along with the hat.
Nice.
So there we go. So if anybody's got any swag they want to get rid of, I'll do it. If you want to send me your, if you got a channel sticker or patch, you want me to give them away, I'll stand here and go, you know, get this sticker from so-and-so. You know, I don't mind.
Rick will take care of you.
You know, I'll give you some free advertising. So, there we go. Anyway, while we're all here, let me go through the panel for last shout-outs or anything else like that, and we'll start from this end. David Kingpin Boland.
Oh, thanks for having me, Rick. It's always a pleasure. Appreciate the conversation. Make sure everybody likes, share, and subscribe to Rick's Life as I See It. And don't forget to tune in Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern.
All right. Then next, I'm going down the way I see him on my screen, is Night Strike.
Ah, okay.
Any shout-outs?
Shout-outs. Yeah, check out C4 Defense. Check out his channel.
All right. Sounds good. All right. The myth, the legend, the man, Patriot in the Dark.
Oh, my. Well, thanks for the invite. I appreciate it. Love the disability show.
Yeah.
I liked it. I had an old lady used to tell me that she was upset when they started changing it. Oh, they're differently able, they're disabled, you know, all this, because she loved to be handy. She said handicap just sounded a lot better, whatever. So anyway, thanks for the invite. Check out all my stuff, Patriot in the Dark. I don't know, I try to get a lot of stuff out there. And if you have followed what I've been saying, you know, to stay positive, even that Clover and Ghost guy are kind of jumping on the bandwagon, but they're doing it a little different. But, you know, stay positive. And FBC, if you go to their website and you do one of their little email things, it lists like 10, 15 people that it'll send an email to. And so you can do that and just sign it as Squib because he needs all the help he can get.
All right. Hey, Ghost and Clover are getting big time now. You know, they really are. Sponsors and all that kind of good stuff. But they worked hard for it. Anyway, Squib.
Yeah, what?
Any shout-outs, plugs, or anything?
Oh. Friday at 7 p.m., the Right of the People on Budget Guns Gear Review. And you've already mentioned your jealousy for Caliber Corner on Saturday morning. And Night Strike's already brought up Sarge's show tomorrow. And Gizzard Gary's doing another Foul Territory Friday at, I think it's 8 or 9, I think.
I think it's 9 Eastern, 8 Central.
Okay. Something like that, yeah. I'm trying to get caught up on shows, so I've still got 30 more minutes of his Foul Territory from Friday to finish listening to.
Good luck.
All right.
Hey, I watched your show today before I left for work, and while I was driving to work, I should say, listen, and the ending of Hit or Miss Tuesday nights 9 o'clock yesterday, it kind of went downhill fast. Night Strike.
Well, when you get never enough ammo in there, you know it's hit or miss Tuesday nights 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
Just
I need to start getting back in there too. I've been missing it for a couple of months now.
Yeah, we've been missing you, Rick.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get back in there. All right, Wheelchair, any shout outs or plugs?
Check out everybody that's on the panel. If you haven't subbed to them, sub to them. Check out everybody that's in the chat. If you haven't subbed to them, sub to them.
All right, great. Hey, we need to get. I want to do a plug for G-Web's site. You know,
Yeah.
And not only that, his store where he's got patches, stickers, T-shirts, you name it, he's got it.
Yeah, let me post the links on your chat for you, Rick, because I can get those links out there for you.
Please do. And I want to say thank you to people in the chat. I doubt if I'll get them all. We got the Tactical Pickle. We got Grand Man Rich White. David Bowden doing double duty here. Guitar Man Pete. Seven Wonders. Who else we got? I'm trying to find them all. Gizzard Gary, Rob D, New York Outcast, John Z. Who else we got? Let's see. Ghost Tactical was even in there, and Gage Stark in here too. Then on Gun Channels, Pete Ortega, Gizzard Gary doing double duty. General Relativity, PNW Woods. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Makes my day to have you all here. And I'll be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern for Rick's Life as I See It. So, and don't forget the question. Danny Regan, gun, the make and model in the season finale of season 1. Email me at rickslife as I see it at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. There we go. So see you guys all later. Have a good one.
Never fear the dark.